All right, February 10th, 2011. Just finished the Lance Hartwig trial. He was charged with aiding an offender after a second-degree murder and ineligible person in possession of a firearm. This was a 3-week trial in Ramsey County, Minnesota. It was actually a second trial. The first jury was split, which means they could not come to an agreement. It was a hung jury. I'm sitting here with 3 of the jurors from the second trial here who have just found Lance not guilty. And what I'd want to ask you guys is what you had an opportunity to watch me defend him now for 3 weeks with the assistance of my paralegal Jessica. What do you think? Just speak up in turn however you want. But what did we do well in this trial?
I thought that when the testimonies changed, you really grilled him and really got in, asked the right questions, and it made him frustrated, and I felt like it made him look weak and uncredible.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, definitely discrediting the witnesses' testimonies. The visualization of the spotlight where the cars were parked, the mapping of everything, talking to the police officers, and all that, and then using the bulletin board to really zero down on what the testimonies were, and then coming back at the closing arguments. That's what sold me, was really zeroing in on the whole trial and wrapping it all up. I thought that was very, very informative.
Thank you.
It was closing arguments for me, because sometimes during the trial I was a little confused. I wasn't entirely sure where things were going, or why maybe a pronoun here made a big difference versus, a singular versus a plural. But then wrapping it up and seeing it in its entirety, the whole thing, I think is what was really helpful for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. How was the delivery in terms of the closing argument itself? Is there anything you can, if you had a word to describe the way I presented it, what would you have?
Very professional and very entertaining.
Thanks. I try to keep them fun. We were actually going to do a pin the tail on the donkey,
Yeah.
but they don't sell that anymore. Now it's put the nose on the clown.
Like the spelling one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the spell check.
Yeah, the spell check.
The spell check
That was fun. That was my first time ever using PowerPoint. I've always done it old school before.
Okay.
So, how was the PowerPoint, by the way?
I liked that. I liked that you showed, in the arrows, the
Contradictions?
Yeah, I thought that was really hitting that point. And I think that was the whole point for me that sold me on the not guilty.
Thanks.
I thought it was interesting. I thought it, in terms of delivery, I thought it was easy. It was easy to follow, which for me isn't always true. In terms of long speeches and long arguments, I get lost.
Sure.
I'm not the smartest guy. And it was easy to follow, and it made sense. That was it for me.
Good. That was important. Well, I want to thank you all for. Are there any final comments you guys want to make about anything?
Those visuals I thought were helpful, because not everybody, I don't do well with lectures, and I thought that, and not that I didn't take proper notes or anything, but I thought that all of the visuals throughout the trial, and especially in the closing arguments, that's what made me fully understand. So, and I think that is true for a lot of people. So I would suggest the visuals like that in the future.
Thank you. That's helpful feedback for us.
I like the theme, the truth doesn't change.
Yeah, that was the theme of the case here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for all of your time and your attention and taking the time to sit down with us and tell us what we did well and what we can do better and so forth. And that's it for now. Thanks.